Hi people, this is Chris for Drums Bonedo. Today I have another compact kit as a guest, more precisely the PDP Daru Jones New Yorker kit in the second edition. In the last 10 years, probably all the major manufacturers have brought compact kits to the market. Some companies even have several models in their range. Think for example of Tama's Club Jam line or the Sonor, Safari and Martini kits. All these sets have in common that they are handy and have shells made of quite soft woods like poplar or Philippine mahogany. At least in the early days they also had a very attractive price tag, so that many drummers have considered buying such a small set for the acoustic gig or the rehearsal instead of bringing a cajon. Daru Jones, who designed this kit together with PDP, is most at home in hip-hop styles but also playing for rock star Jack White. If you don't know him, be sure to check him out. His drum set construction is as original as his sound and phrasing. For those of you who are not familiar with the PDP brand, it's sort of the lower priced offshoot of DW drums. The drums are mostly made in China and often have some similarities regarding parts of the hardware with the much more expensive DW drums. Daru Jones is, after the famous Ludwig Questlove kit, the second drummer I know who got his own signature compact kit. The drum sizes are 18 by 11 bass drum, 10 by 5 tom, 14 by 7 tom and a 13 by 6 snare. Also, if you take a closer look, the toms are no longer real toms, but snoms. That means, like a snare drum, they have snare wires, snare beds and the massive DW Mac throw-off. So you basically get a set with 3 snare sound options. The shells are painted on the outside in a Caribbean-like color blend, and the tension hoops of the bass drum are also tone in tone. This looks great without a doubt. On the inside the shells look rather simple, also the snare beds on all 3 drums are flat and not particularly elegantly cut. The contact edge of the drum head lies very far to the outside and the bearing edges are cut at a standard 45-degree angle. Let's take a look at the hardware. As you can see, all the drums have the so-called center lugs. The true pitch tension screws of the bass drum are therefore quite long. Also, there's a riser included that lifts the bass drum to the necessary level so that the beater is centered on the head. This works wonderfully, as you can hear on the sound files. Also included is a single tom holder that attaches to the bass drum and 3 very long floor tom legs. There's also a kind of cover plate that you can use if you prefer to play the bass drum without the tom mount. So it will fit on the holes of the tom bracket. The hoops of the kit are triple flange power hoops and, like the rest of the set, also chrome plated. All the heads of the kit come from Remo China. The Remo UC better drum heads are pre-damped on all drums, while the no-name resonant heads are also rather thin on the toms to make a snare response possible. So overall, I find the set okay from the quality of workmanship. However, you can see that savings are made here and there. For example, on the rather inexpensive heads and also on the snare wires, which simply do not seem high quality. For the bass drum there's a small pillow, rather a roll, included, which I attached in the shell with Velcro. I placed it in front of the non-pre-damped resonant head. Much more interesting than all the technical details is the sound. I have first recorded the set as a regular compact set in a medium tuning with normal toms. Later I added some damping and activated the 2 snoms. What I particularly like is the boomy and full sound of the bass drum. Although the snare has a nice mix of attack and body. The two toms work as well. They sound round and despite the shallow depth, have a good amount of sustain. The whole set sounds as usual for compact sets where inexpensive heads and poplar wood is installed, a bit boxy, but also nice and round and not too loud, and can be recorded well. The most exciting thing for me personally on this set are definitely the two snoms. But you have to be willing to experiment a bit, because as you can hear, the snom effect is a tricky thing. Anyone of you who knows a bit about drum tuning will be familiar with the fact that a clean response of the snare wires goes hand in hand with a fairly high tension of the resonant head. Then, however, the two toms no longer sound so beautifully full. With damping, as with the Rohema Muffins, you can still get results. So for the second tuning I tried to approach it a little differently and a tad more creative. I tuned the better head of the bass drum lower, also I lowered the tension of the snare drum head. And the 10-inch snom is tuned really high, more like an effect snare. I also tried to get more snare effect out of the 14x7 tom by tuning it higher, but you can hear for yourself. So here comes my conclusion. In addition to the Yamaha Stage Custom Hip, there's now another snom compact kit with a second Daru Jones kit, which even offers 3 snare options. I think that this set is especially suitable for creative drummers who want to try new sounds of the well-traveled path. With damping or add-ons like jingles on the drums, you can achieve a lot more possibilities in combination with the 3 snare sounds. You can also use the set as a normal set with regular tom sounds, as I demonstrated in the first Soundfiles. However, there are plenty of other models for this application available, which are also significantly cheaper than the currently listed 1049 euros. What are your thoughts on the second Daru Jones kit? Write it in the comments. That's it for today. If you liked the video, please leave a comment or a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and I hope to see you next time. Until then, bye!